Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see you there. And I left the camera running, and I forgot to edit out of the video. And everyone's done this bit, so we're gonna forget I did that. Hi, my name is Patrick. I am, I guess, a producer on Graveyard Hill. Yeah, I guess that's an accurate description. Uh, Welcome to the holiday special, and Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays and a Happy New Year to all. Um, well, I don't really know what to say. I mean, this has kind of always been a dream of mine. I've always wanted to have a television show in a sort of either college, broadcast, or public access vein, and now finally living the dream. We are using an entirely old fashioned way of getting out to the masses, and here we are. So, all of you masses, all two or three of you, I assume. I'm a little unsure of how to use this time, so let's start with an explanation of the mess. I'm moving to Brooklyn, it would seem. God willing, I will be moving out fairly soon, so everything is in disarray. But hopefully wonderful things are on the horizon. This thing would not be a reality without the help of many people. First, I'd like to thank Jacob Sullivan. You might have heard him. He appeared in the last episode and has basically more or less been the one responsible for making almost every single episode of the shift mostly himself. And I really need to hand it to him because my dream is largely built off of his back, if I'm not going to lie. So thank you, Jacob. Feel free to ask us to do more. Next is Ariane Hosen, who came up and performed the character of Spectra for our very first episode. In fact, really this whole idea of doing a Graveyard Shift block came out of me wanting to take the already existing Spectra show and put it on public access and maybe do more public access episodes, and here we are. Next, I want to thank my former housemate and perhaps soon to be current housemate, Alex Bird. He has been a long contributor of the whole Ded Sullivan crew, and a lot of the content and things you have seen have involved him. And also the intro and outro of the show, which I think gives what is otherwise a very loosely, if even slightly connected series of unrelated bits, some cohesion by giving it a definitive beginning and end, and basically being the only things you can consistently expect to appear. Next, I want to thank Kevin Jessel. Kevin, how do you say your last name? Is it Gezel? Jezel? I don't actually know. Please help me, dude. But regardless of that, Kevin, whatever your name may be, thank you for helping out with videos, and thank you for generally being a man with impeccable vibes that always bring everyone else's up. Next, to the talented Chris Anderson, who has contributed some amazing music, some great videos, and I look forward to seeing what he does next. Thank you to Lauren Stefanelli for basically being the very first person I talked to about this when I reached out to her in October after trying to find out how to get in contact with public access, and basically encouraging me to make more content and perhaps even bring public access to the internet. Still a work in progress. We'll see how that turns out, but I've more or less been in correspondence with her for a year, and she has been a huge supporter to this block, and has, as far as I can tell, more or less is the main person who keeps Channel 13 running. So thank you very much, Lauren. You've been a huge help. Jim Blizzard, the man, the myth, the legend, who has been helping me get the internet streaming version of Channel 13 up. We got it up for a little bit. It was on YouTube, and then we got some copyright claims, so we're currently trying to get it running on Twitch. We'll see how that goes, but Jim's been a huge help in working the technical know-how that I do not remotely know, and I cannot thank him enough for that. Thanks, Jim. And next we got Rich DiPaolo, head of the AOC, Access Oversight Committee. Thanks, Rich. You helped facilitate the idea for the Twitch idea through the public access meetings and have been a supporter of it from the start. Thanks a lot. I want to thank Nick Oda. You probably haven't noticed his work, but every now and then you'll see some like VHS footage that's used in some of the videos, and that's Nick's work. He's can digitize tapes much better than I ever could, and much better than I even can now that my game capture doesn't really communicate with my VHS player. So thanks, Nick. Your can't speak. Your contributions are welcomed. Next, I'd like to thank Ariana Ross for her contribution of the music video Come Through, which, great video, and as long as you're willing, I'd love to put more of your music, because you have a lot of great stuff, Ariana. And last but not least, Chris Tenore, for allowing me to use your log cabin in the snow, and nothing else. You have never helped me with anything else, but that log cabin, that was pretty cool, so you deserve credit for that. I'm joking. I would not be anywhere near where I am without you. Thank you. And with that, I think that brings my little Christmas card to the end. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a Happy New Year to the Ded Sullivan crew and to our viewers, whoever you might be. But before you go, I'd like to treat you to a reading of a book called An Irish Night Before Christmas. What's up, you beautiful dudes? I'm Ash Kekamine, and welcome to the Omega Cosmic, where we talk about the most powerful entities across the fictional omniverse. Now, this video has been a long time coming. When I did my video on the Molecule Man, I brought up another Marvel god entity known as the Cosmic Grinch. And ever since then, everyone's been asking me, Ash, what is the Cosmic Grinch? What's the difference between the regular Grinch and the Cosmic Grinch? And to everyone who's been reaching out to me, I'm sorry for not getting back to you, but I thought it would be more productive to make a video answering the question than reaching out to each of you individually. But before we get started, I want to remind all of you to smash that like button, ring that bell for notifications, and subscribe for more exclusive internet content. So to explain the Cosmic Grinch, we must first examine what the Grinch is, because the Grinch is not just one being. There are a few different beings that go by the name. There's the beagle-beaked, bald-headed Grinch. Then there is the Grinch from The Hubbub and the Grinch. Both of these predate the appearance of the Grinch Who Stole Christmas. We also don't know for sure if the Grinch from Halloween Is Grinch Night is the same Grinch from the Grinch Who Stole Christmas. It might be a prequel to the Grinch Who Stole Christmas, but you'd have to figure out why Max returns to the Grinch after leaving at the end of Grinch Night. Personally, I believe it is the same Grinch, and I'll explain the change in his nature later on. But either way, we know that there is more than one being that goes by the name Grinch. So what unites these different entities aside from their name? Well, the answer is given to us in The Grinch Grinches the Cat in the Hat, when we see Grinch's reflection talk to him. He chides this Grinch for being cheerful and not being Grinchy enough.
And a very good morning to you, Mr. Grinch. Oh, it is it? Well, it seems so.
He implores the Grinch to recite the Grinch Oath and to reaffirm his Grinchiness.
Our Grinch is unhelpful, unfriendly, unkind, with ungracious thoughts in an unhealthy mind. A Grinch is uncheerful, uncouth, and unclean. Now say this together. I'm frightfully vain. My eyes are both shifty, my fingers are thrifty. My mouth will not smile, not half of an inch. I'm a Grinch. I am a Grinch. I'm a Grinch!
Now this works initially, as the Grinch returns to his dastardly nature. But due to the psychological torture of the Cat in the Hat and the interventions of Max the dog, the reflection loses its influence over this Grinch. Now, who is the entity in the mirror who talks to the Grinch? I think you already know the answer. That's the Cosmic Grinch. This is the true Grinch, who has power and sway over the other beings known as the Grinch, making them recite the Grinch Oath. Perhaps the beagle-beaked Grinch and this Grinch are Grinches that no longer are influenced by the Cosmic Grinch. They have drifted away from his influence. We know that this Grinch at least is not the definitive Grinch due to the fact that in the oath he states that he is a Grinch, not the Grinch. Now, what do we know about the Cosmic Grinch? Well, we don't have any information from Dr. Seuss himself, so normally that would be the end of the canon. However, musician Brendan Butter was possessed by the Cosmic Grinch and wrote a song about it.
This is a song called My Bones Are Made of Wood. And it's by the Grinch.
From this song, we learn a few more things about the Grinch. His bones are made of wood, which explains why he has termites in his teeth. And his body is made of weed, and he smokes himself. He wasn't always like this, though. When he was in high school, he was friends with Jesus Christ. As a prank, Jesus turned his bones to wood. However, Jesus didn't know how to turn his bones back into calcium, and that's why they aren't friends anymore. This is also why the Grinch hates Christmas. From this song, there are a few things we can infer. Firstly, the Cosmic Grinch's power is at its weakest during Christmas. So weak that the Grinch Who Stole Christmas was able to break from the Cosmic Grinch's grasp. But it's at its strongest during Halloween, or as it's properly known, Grinch Night. This is when the Cosmic Grinch and his vessels are nearly completely synchronized. His vessel more or less becomes the Cosmic Grinch in the flesh. During this special, we also get a glimpse of what the Cosmic Grinch's dimension looks like. A nightmare realm where we witness what I imagine are some approximations of the Grinch's true form. Anyway, that's all I got for today. Make sure to like and subscribe and let me know if there are any other cosmic entities you'd like me to cover. Also, be sure to check out Brendan Butter and the Piss Patrol on Bandcamp. That's all from me. Remember to respect and honor Grinch Night this year, and I'll see you in the next video.
This is a song called My Bones Are Made of Wood. And it's by the Grinch. Grinch. My name is the Grinch. Let me tell you about my bones. Made of wood. Now wooden bones. Now wooden bones. Oh shit. That was going pretty good too. Okay, I'm a Grinch. It's my Grinch night. I got termites in my bones, in my bones. But that's what everyone, 'cause I'm the Grinch. And it's Grinch night is tonight. That's my favorite night of the Grinch week. Grinch has got a different kind of week. It's called a Grinch week. The Grinch is their money. The bones are their money. The Grinch is their dollars. The bones are their money.
Starts when that sour sweet wind begins a howling. Sour sweet wind across the tree stumps on the wrong side of Punker's Pond.
The sour sweet wind of Grinch night is the spookiest, Grinchiest wind. The sour sweet wind of Grinch night makes you wish your bones are made of wood. How long is this so far? Oh man, this has only been 4 minutes.
Cause when old Punker's Pond gets ruffled by that howling and that growling, that always disturbs the Hackencracks. The Hackencracks start a yowling.
Let's keep going.
That drunken
I think I just gotta get into like a groove. And I'll just stay on it. I can improvise forever. Pretty much done. That first one was going pretty good. Well, it's 19 Grinch too, and I'm grinching it up with you. It's 19 Grinch 4, gonna Grinch some more. And it's 1958, Grinches, I have 8. There's 8 Grinches. That was kind of going somewhere. I got my peanut butter here. Shout out to peanut butter. That is 19 Grinch 1. Gonna have some fun. It's 19 Grinch 2. What am I supposed to do? It's 1960 Grinch 3. How's this gonna be? And it's 19 Grinch 4. Gonna Grinch some more. And it's 19 Grinch 5. Grinch just to stay alive. And it's 19 Grinch 6.
So I suggest you don't stop.
How to Grinch some chicks. And it's 19 Grinch 7.
006.
Excellent suggestion, Euchariah.
Moving your way to Grinch heaven. And it's 19 Grinch 8. Got some Grinch on my plate. And it's 19 Grinch 9. Grinch just fine. Grinch calendar. Got a Grinch calendar. Got a Grinchy calendar. A Grinchy, Grinchy calendar. Grinch calendar would be pretty fun. How much is remix? Like this gets remixed by the president of music. Sorry if it seems like I'm playing the same chords over and over. There's a string broken, so I can't do songs with them. Okay, this is 8.5 minutes in. This is pretty good. There's only like 24 minutes total in Halloween Grinch Night. I bet I can make it. I'm having fun. This is a good time. I'm the Grinch dog. My name is Max or something. I hate the Grinch and his wooden bones. I think they're bad. The Grinch and his bones treat me like shit. Fuck the Grinch. The The Grinch is my boss. I'm gonna start a dog union. I'm gonna go on strike. Despite the Grinch, they can't make me. Say on Christmas Eve without any pay. The Grinch sucks. Don't like the Grinch. I'm a dog. Gonna go on strike. Grinch is a man who is made of green. He's made of weed. He's the Grinch.
This looks a lot better without my glasses.
The Grinch has wooden bones, but the rest of him is made of weed. He's like a tree. I'm committed to doing all 24 minutes. I might take breaks, but I'm never going to stop recording. It's going to be a masterpiece. That's it. I'm going to start like a new genre of experimental music about the Grinch.
You know something, Grandpa Josiah? Oh my gosh, look what he's doing now. He's hunting down the Wuzzy Wuzzy. The Wuzzy at least should have immunity. He's the only one left in our community.
My window's actually open right now. I should probably close it since I'm loudly singing about the Grinch. I know Jake is probably the only person who's ever going to hear this, but I think it would be funny to release it. You gotta admit it would be at least kind of funny. Alright, more Grinch music coming up. Grinch's bones, Grinch's bones, Grinch's bones, made of wood. Grinch's bones, Grinch's bones, my bones are made of wood. I'm the Grinch, Grinch bones, yeah. Grinch bones, Grinch bones. This is like vaporwave, right? It's lo-fi. It's like vaporwave. Is that what it's called? Yeah, that sounds right. What if the Grinch knew a moose? Would they be friends or would they be enemies? What if the moose think about Christmas? Is he jealous that he's not a reindeer? What's the deal with the moose? What are his thoughts regarding things? Does he believe in a moose type of god? Or is the Grinch? Wait. Oh yeah, this wasn't about the Grinch, this was about a moose. The Grinch would make more sense though. What are the Grinch's thoughts about things? Does the Grinch believe in God? Does the Grinch believe in God? Does the Grinch believe in God? him at wooden bones. Does the Grinch believe in Jesus? Does the Grinch get any need for Jesus? What would the Grinch say to Jesus Christ if he was like, I gave you wooden bones as a friend? That's why the Grinch hates Christmas. Jesus gave him wooden bones to prank him. The Grinch has a personal judge against Jesus. They know each other. They went to high school together. I'm playing the drum machine off my phone, and it pauses when the phone goes dark. So that's why it stops sometimes.
I got bigger things to do than to waste my time with you on Grinch night.
Okay. What time are we at? 15 minutes. Wow. More than halfway. We're doing good here. I can definitely make the full 25. I thought it was 24. Turns out it's 25. A little bit over 25. 25 minutes and 20 seconds. And we like a lot of the way there. Like 3/5. Yeah, that sounds right. 3/5. Yes. Okay. My bones are made of wood. They're made of wood. I am the Grinch. I have wooden bones. Bones made of wood. Bones made of wood. I'm Dylan, and I'm the Grinch. Miles Dylan is the Grinch. He lives in Grinch Palace. The Grinch lives in a palace called Grinch Palace, and he is bubbling in that song. Halloween is Grinch Night is playing in the background of all of this. And it's gotta be on there. It's part of it. I'm one of the Who's from Whoville. Me, the Grinch, is just a guy. A weird traffic guy who's made of meat, and I hear his bones made of wood. He lives in the mountain. He hates Christmas. He loves Grinch Night. He hates America. He is the Grinch. He lives kind of near my town. He's kind of a jerk. I hope he doesn't steal Christmas. Grinch. Grinch. The guy I'm familiar with. Firsthand. Cause I'm a Who. I live in Whoville. I'm foul-bitten. I'm the Grinch. I'm the Moose. I'm the dog. I'm Jesus. Always be a rap. We could use that rhyme scheme for any type of song. I'm the Grinch. I'm the Grinch. I'm the Grinch. I'm the Grinch. song was by the Grinch. The full title of the song is My Bones Are Made of Wood by the Grinch. Because this song is in fact by the Grinch. And he's telling a story about himself. Specifically, that his bones are made of wood. And the rest of him is made of weed. And he hates Christmas because his friend, Jesus Christ, who's also God, made him like that as a prank. All of this is canon in the Dr. Seuss book. They left it out of the Jim Carrey movie. But it's actually in the new one, the Benedict Cumberbatch one, where the guys who did Despicable Me. They go deep into the Grinch lore. All of this is canon. I should add a bunch of wacky sound effects to this. That'd be funny. Songs are always good at making sound effects. This is me just talking to the computer. A little bit high. It's fun. Santa Claus. Santa Claus. I'm the Grinch when he's disguised as Santa Claus. That's another part of the story that I feel like people forget. That the way the Grinch steals Christmas is he pretends to be Santa Claus. He's committing Santa fraud. It's like a massive crime against Santa Claus that he's doing. Pretty bad. Getting caught in the sour sweet wind. You'll become a Grinch. Every night'll be Grinch night. That's how you become a Grinch. You get lost in the sour sweet wind. And you meet Jesus Christ. And he curses you to have good bones. Again, all this Grinch lore is real. Dr. Seuss said it in an interview shortly before he died in 1996. I know because I was the one doing the interview. I'm Dr. Seuss, and I'm also the Grinch. Guitars can be so loud, it's kind of wild. Playing a different song. Wait, it's a different song. Do I know any songs? Let's try this. a song I definitely know. No, not that one. What's happening here? This one? Hold on, this one's pretty well, I think. Yeah. Well, wait, is Grinch Night over? Oh, it is. I don't need to continue. I was about to go into a whole different song, but I guess we're done here. We did it. We did the whole 25 minutes and 20 seconds of Halloween is Grinch Night as a song. There you go.
Hey there, you scumbags and maggots. Merry Christmas from the UK. Governor, this is Noah from Ded Sullivan. Merry Christmas.
They canceled school at 5 a.m. Glad I skipped my homework again. Cause I wore my PJs backwards too, so I could spend the day with you. Looks like a blizzard's coming in. The radio said we should be fine. Don't mind those iced out power lines now. The Safeway's out of milk and bread, but we got wine and cake instead. Blankets and books around the fire. Oh, that's just the way you make me feel. Whoa, that's just the way you make me feel this December. Like riding downhill on a sled, like houses made of gingerbread. That's just the way you make me feel this Christmas. That's just the way you make me feel. Whoa, that's just the way you make me feel this December. Like roly-poly men of snow, caught making out neath mistletoe. That's just the way you make me feel this Christmas. Grid went down all over town, so those strung out twinkling lights won't show us this the season. What was that warm feeling in my chest that lets me know, babe, you're the best? As salt and sparks fly from the plows, our neighbor's candle shining in the fogged up window call up a vision of a colder Christmas long ago. Carolers' harmonies at the spin at a glowing heart with chestnuts in it. Ghostly Christmas future whispering at the keyhole. That's just the way you make me feel. Whoa, that's just the way you make me feel this December. Like Daddy Claus went on a diet, rode the bus instead of flying. That's the way you make me feel this Christmas. That's just the way you make me feel. Oh, that's just the way you make me feel this December. Rock hard like frozen candy canes, red hot like pine cone scented flames. That's just the way you make me feel this Christmas.
A beautiful snowfall, the first since Kara had moved into the small, cozy house she had rented. It was in the country, and the perfect place to complete her online university classes, while also fulfilling her lifelong dream of becoming a starving artist. Or starving science fiction writer, specifically. The elderly couple she rented it from, whose grandchildren she had babysat, had left the Midwest for a warmer climate after their retirement. They had taken pity on her, as they knew that her mother, her only relative, had died of drug overdose after many years of addiction. They allowed her to stay for next to nothing in exchange for keeping the property in order. For many 20-somethings, living alone in such a big, secluded house would be boring or scary. But for Kara, who had previously only lived in a cramped and filthy inner-city apartment, it was absolutely amazing. This is partly why she was so enchanted by the snowfall. Though she liked to fancy herself as a serious and solitary artist, the allure of snow just drew her in. She bundled up and went outside for a peaceful walk through the beautiful scenery, a huge yard with a barn at one end and a small pond at the other. The quaint view, along with the peaceful silence that only snow can create, put her in a happy mood, and she was feeling very calm and happy by the time she came back to the house. Just as she stepped up onto the first stair leading into the door of the house, a movement in the snow caught the corner of her eye. For a reason she couldn't explain, her heart skipped a beat, and she felt the urge to run inside and lock the door. The feeling only lasted a split second, but it took her a moment to collect herself. She cautiously looked back at what had moved, and that's when she saw it. A tiny, pure white kitten, maybe 2 months old. She had to laugh at herself for being startled by such an innocent little creature. She glanced around for its mother, thinking of all the semi-feral cats living on the property. She didn't remember any of them having kittens, but in this cold weather, they mostly took refuge in the barn or garage. Either way, this kitten was alone, and it was less than 30 degrees outside. She scooped him up and, almost on impulse, decided to keep him. She had never had a pet before, and could just picture him curled up beside her as she wrote or studied. The more she thought about it, the more she thought it was a good idea. Fighting the urge to name him after a science fiction character, she settled on an easier-to-spell Snowy. She was amazed that he wasn't freezing as she wrapped him in a blanket and rummaged through her landlord's cabinets for pet supplies. He must have left the garage and wandered too far out in the cold. She found some cat food and watered it down for him. To her relief, he scarfed it down gratefully. She carried him through the big house and down to the finished basement where she lived. Furnished only with bookshelves of science fiction books, a bed, and a cluttered desk, she thought the presence of a little cat curled up in the corner made it so much homier. All the thought of studying or writing was lost for the rest of the day in favor of playing with her new pet. That night, however, she had trouble sleeping. She woke in the middle of the night and had the horrible feeling that someone was watching her. She laid there in silence with her eyes shut, hoping that if she didn't acknowledge the feeling, it would go away. It only got worse, however. As the night wore on, her heart raced and she fought to keep her breath even. Hours later, she finally drifted into an uneasy sleep. She was still relieved when morning rolled around, though there were no windows in the basement. It was as if a fog was lifted. The entire atmosphere of the room shifted. During the night, the light snowfall had turned into a storm, and the temperature had dropped 20 degrees. Kara had no plans to go anywhere, but the knowledge that she couldn't bothered her more than she had expected it to. She tried to write, but she couldn't focus. After struggling for a while, she decided it was useless to continue working, and instead curled up with Snowy and sought some peace of mind in her favorite novel. This provided a measure of escape, but when the night rolled around, she dreaded getting in bed. She put it off for as long as possible, but eventually, exhaustion won out. She fell asleep easily, but woke up a few hours later. Just as before, this night, just as before, she woke up with an uneasy feeling. She was determined not to spend another night as miserable as before, so she forced herself to open her eyes. She slowly turned her head toward the center of the room and saw a pair of bright red eyes staring back. She wanted to scream, but was frozen with fear. Slowly and deliberately, she closed her eyes and opened them again. This time, the eyes she saw were yellow and belonged to little Snowy. What was wrong with her? She still felt frozen with fear. Without thinking, she quietly said, "Snowy?" And the cat immediately ran over and snuggled next to her in bed. She hid her face in his fur and tried to sleep, but couldn't do it. Eventually, she decided that maybe she just needed to get up and out of the basement. She got up and, forcing the kitten to jump to the ground, and grabbed her way down the wall towards the doorknob. Though the room was near pitch black, she kept her eyes shut tightly. She found the door, but as her hands desperately roamed the frame, she didn't feel the knob. She forced herself to open her eyes. The knob was right in front of her. She didn't know how she missed it, but now she noticed something, an unnatural red light coming from behind her. Instinctively, not wanting to have her back towards the possible threat, she slowly turned around. The light was coming from everywhere, and from nowhere. It simply bathed the room. Snowy had jumped up onto a bookshelf and now jumped down. The shadow cast in the eerie light was not of a cat, however, but of a grotesque, hunched human-like creature. Kara forgot about leaving the room and stumbled backwards. Pressed against the door, she was unable to pull together a complete thought. Terror held her in its grip. All she could do was curl in on herself, close her eyes, and repeat fragmented bits of the Lord's Prayer as the cat slowly and deliberately walked across the room towards her. But it was too late for that nonsense. It left the house only hours later, walking through the frigid temperature on icy roads, possessing Kara's body and holding a kitten. As the stray kitten had provided a way into Kara's life, the stray girl would surely get through to another soul. It eventually came to another farmhouse, tears in its eyes, to tell a story about a car crash and a walk through the cold. Who could turn down such an innocent creature?
Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. Well, if you are here, we might as well spend the holidays together. It stinks to spend the holidays alone. Well, let me introduce myself. I am Jacob, and I live here on Graveyard Hill. And thank you. If you're gonna be here, I'd like to sing you a song. It's the Ded Sullivan Holiday Special, yeah, it's the Ded Sullivan Holiday Special. You can spend it here on Graveyard Hill with me, the Blood Clots, Olive Garden, and Jake and the Nowhere. It's the Ded Sullivan Holiday Special, yeah, Ded Sullivan Holiday Special. Dominick The Donkey will be there. And Not Lives. It's the Ded Sullivan Holiday Special! Now Jake in the Nowhere.
Festive decorations and Christmas bells are ringing out fun for you at the Avalon.
Welcome to the Jake in the Nowhere Holiday Special! Here goes Electrozone! have one more for you. And that song... What is that song, Chris? Oh, it's a Christmas special. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Prospero año y felicidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Prospero año y felicidad. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Prospero año y felicidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Prospero año y felicidad. Have a Merry Holidays.
His name is Dominick, the sweetest little donkey. You never saw him kick. When answer his Christmas on with Dominick you'll be, because the ranger cannot climb the hills of Italy. Jiggity jig, it's Dominick the donkey. Jiggity jig, the Italian Christmas donkey. La la la. Dominick the donkey came down to my pizzeria. I was like, Dominick, what you doing here, Mamma Mia? Dominick, pepperoni, I'll put you in a death. I don't have time for you, Dominick, oh Dominick. Jiggity jig, hee-haw, it's Dominick the donkey. Jiggity jig, hee-haw, it's Italian Christmas donkey. La la la, la 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 la, la la la, la la la, go! Dominick the donkey, oh you know he's made of meat. I want him on my pizza, some donkey I would eat. I want to eat some donkey meat upon my pizza pie, or in a pasta, it's spaghetti or lasagna. Jiggity jig, it's Dominick the donkey. Jiggity jig, the Italian Christmas donkey. La la la, la 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 la, la la la, la 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 la.
mache mall, bon mache mall, where it all started and never stopped.
Merry Christmas from the Blood Clots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2. This song is called Santa Claus Sucks My Dick. Now here's mandatory ass transplant. 1, 2. This next song is called Fetus Lobotomy / Brain Abortion.
Christmas Time is Here from Charlie Brown. Happy holidays, motherfuckers. Next, we're gonna have a song called Cheeseburger in Paradise. This is a song called I Want to Break Bill Gates' Legs. How many is that? Like 7? This song is called A Grinch is Coming. 1, 2, 3, 4. our final song for these motherfuckers. It's called Up Against the Wall, Motherfucker! Fuck you, that was the Blood Clots! Happy Christmas, fuck you!
Ithaca, New Jersey, alone. The queers no longer owned the streets, as I timidly drove through the dark back roads of New Jersey. I wondered if that tiny moment of celebration really made anything better the other 11 months of the year.
2, 3.